Hello! The battery of an electric vehicle is its single most expensive part. In order to extract the maximum value from my battery, I want to be able to power as many things as possible with it. With the TC Max having a removable battery, I thought I could use it as a portable power supply. If I could just attach an inverter to the output, I'd have a 3 kWh portable power station. To test the idea, I connected a 400 watt 13.8 volt DC to DC converter to the battery. I've used this DC to DC converter for quite a while on a 200 watt load, so if you're looking for a DC to DC converter with an extremely wide input voltage range, I can recommend this one. I connected a bulb as a load but found the BMS cut the output, so I put the idea of a power bank to one side until I had a conversation with Owen in the comments section of my previous video. He said he'd connected a load to the charge socket on the bike and the BMS didn't cut the output, probably due to the presence of CAN bus signals. So I tried it myself. This time the bulb stayed lit. So although the battery can't be used on its own, the bike can be used as a power source. There isn't a great deal of choice when it comes to inverters with an 84 volt input. I bought this one a little while back for my other battery. It cost around £140 and is rated at 2500 watts. There's also a 1000 watt version for around £80. If you don't want to have to modify the bike's wiring, I would opt for the 1000 watt. This is the wires that connect the bike's charge port to the battery. As you can see, they're not very thick, adequate for 1000 watts but no more. I decided I'd like to be able to pull more than that, so I went about upgrading them. I connected the positive side to the breaker switch using 12 AWG wire. I routed the negative wire down to the motor controller, then crimped and soldered a ring terminal on the end. This allowed me to use the screw terminals on the controller to make a solid connection to the battery. Now I can connect the bike to the inverter and take advantage of its full power. I've mounted it on the wall along with an appropriate DC breaker switch rated at 32 amps. It also splits off to the solar controller via a 16 amp breaker. The possible uses of my battery and solar power are now limitless. I can power any mains devices up to 2500 watts. If the mains power ever goes down, I'll have a backup that will at a minimum keep the gas central heating boiler running and the mains water pump going. Or I could just slice and fry up some potatoes. Another thing I found it useful for is keeping track of battery degradation. Once a year I attach a meter in line with the inverter and log the capacity of the battery over a full discharge. I use a 1000 watt heater as a load, and this year, after riding 2144 miles, I've lost 1.25% of the battery's capacity. The modified wiring on the bike also allows me to charge my upgraded battery at 20 amps, which makes public charging more viable. Well, that's about it for this video. I'll put links to all the parts I've used in the description. If you'd like to know anything else, please ask in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.